Hey, kiddos. This activity is called favorites, and this activity is going to involve you interpreting a bar graph, okay? So if you're unfamiliar, this is a bar graph, and bar graphs are kind of an easy visual way for you to look at data. So it's called favorites because each bar graph is going to deal with a different type of favorite. So this one says, Barbara asks, what's your favorite bird? And so if you look at our vertical axis here, the y-axis, it's the number of students, and going across are the different types of birds that the students said. So as you can see, as the graph goes up, the number gets larger. So that means that the taller the bar, the more students picked that bird, right? It's important to keep track also of how much, like what your intervals are on when you're increasing your amount. So even though you can see each one of these lines as you go up, the lines on this graph don't mean one increasing by 1. You can see each step you're actually increasing by 2. So even though, like for example, if you look at the crow, even though it goes from 0 up to the first line, at first glance you might think that means that this one student that picked the crow as their favorite, but since each line as the step goes up by 2, that would tell us that 2 students picked the crow. So keep that in mind as you're answering these questions. So the first question is, blank students said bluebird. So if you look at bluebird, here's our bar, and again, remember, you're going up, looks like 2 steps, but that doesn't mean the answer is 2. And again, you can follow this line all the way over. Since each step is worth 2, 2 steps would actually show us that 4 students selected bluebird as their favorite. So keep that in mind, but all of the questions here are going to be related to the bar graph on that page. So take your time and do a good job.